Millions of Americans believe in ghosts, and an expert reveals why. Certainly, lots of people believe in ghosts, a spirit left behind after someone who was alive has died. In a 2021 poll of 1,000 American adults, 41% say they believe in ghosts and 20% say they had personally experienced them. If they're right, that's more than 50 million spirit encounters in the US alone. Now, I asked one of our priests here in our church, how do ghosts come about? And he said that's basically when a person is suddenly losing his life and is shocked by the trauma of this. And we do have a lot of areas in Greece where I live where, very ancient battles took place. For example, the Battle of Marathon in Marathon, north of Greece, on the beach of Marathon. Every September, which is the annual, remembrance of the Battle of Marathon that took place, the people living in that town, in that area, say that they can hear clashing swords and shields and people groaning with pain. As if they're reacting. The spirits are reacting what they went through. So very strange, isn't it? So now that's what the priest told me. I would imagine that I didn't ask him how they can be relieved. I guess it's by praying for their souls. Now, going back to this, that includes the owner of a retail shop, the writer says, near my home, who believes his place is haunted. When I asked what most convinced him of this, he sent me dozens of eerie security camera video clips. He also brought in ghost hunters who reinforced his suspicions. Some of the videos show small orbs of light gliding around the room. In others, you can hear faint voices and loud bumping sounds when nobody's there. Others show a book flying off the desk and producing products jumping off the shelf. Obviously, this is poltergeist activity. Now, it's not uncommon for me to hear stories like this. As a sociologist, the writer says, some of my work looks at beliefs in things like ghosts, aliens, pyramid power, and superstitions. Along with others who practice scientific skepticism, I keep an open mind while maintaining that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Tell me you had a burger for lunch and I'll take your word for it. Tell me you shared your friends with Abraham Lincoln's ghost, your fries with Abraham Lincoln's ghost, and I'll want more evidence. In the spirit of critical thinking, consider the following three questions. Are ghosts possible? People may think they're experiencing ghosts when they hear strange voices, see moving objects, witness balls or wisps of light, or even translucent people. Let's remember, after the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ, when he appeared to his disciples, he told them, touch me and you'll see I'm not a ghost. Now, going back to this, yet no one describes ghosts as aging, eating, breathing, or using bathrooms, despite plumbers receiving many calls about toilets ghost flushing. And this is exactly an experience that my goddaughter in Britain had. They bought a new house outside of London, which was haunted, and they were hearing people running around upstairs, which was a gutted floor. There was nothing upstairs, and they would hear toilets flushing, people taking showers. And they had no showers and no water upstairs. Can you imagine? Now, so could ghosts be made of a special kind of energy that hovers and flies without dissipating? If that's the case, that means when ghosts glow, move objects, and make sounds, they're acting like matter, something that takes up space and has mass, like wood, water, plants, and people. Conversely, when passing through walls or vanishing, they must not act like matter. But centuries of physics research have found nothing like this exists, which is why physicists say ghosts cannot exist. And so far, there's no proof that any part of a person can continue on after death. What's the evidence? Never before in history have people recorded so many ghost encounters, thanks in part to mobile phone cameras and microphones. It seems there would be great evidence by now, but scientists don't have it. Instead, there's a lot of ambiguous recordings. sabotaged by bad lighting and faulty equipment, but popular television shows on ghost hunting convenience many viewers that blurry images and emotional reactions are proof enough. As for all the devices ghost hunters use to capture sounds, electrical fields, and infrared radiation, they may look scientific, but they're not. Measurements are worthless without some knowledge of the things you're measuring. When ghost hunters descend on the allegedly haunted location for a night of meandering and measurement, they usually find something they later deem paranormal. It may be a moving door or a breeze, a chill, a gap in the floorboards, a glow, light entering from outside, electrical fluctuations, old wiring, or bumps and faint voices crew in other rooms. Whatever happens, ghost hunters will draw a bullseye around it, interpret that as evidence, and investigate no further. Are there alternative explanations? Personal experiences with ghosts can be misleading due to the limitations of human senses. That's why anecdotes cannot substitute for objective research. Alleged hauntings usually have plenty of non-ghostly explanations. Other examples is that retail establishment in my neighborhood, I reviewed the security camera clips and gathered information about the store's location and layout and the exact equipment used in the recordings. First, the orbs, quote unquote. Videos captured many small globes of light seemingly moving around the room. In reality, the orbs are tiny particles of dust wafted close to the camera lens, made to bloom by the camera's infrared lights. That they appear to float around the room is an optical illusion. Watch any orb video closely and you'll see that they never go behind objects in the room. That's exactly what you'd expect with dust particles close to the camera lens. Next, voices and bumps. The shop is in a busy corner mini mall, 3 walls about sidewalks, loading zones and parking areas. An adjacent store shares a 4th. The security camera mics probably record sounds from outdoors, other rooms, and the adjacent unit. The owner never checked for these possibilities. Then the flying objects. The video shows objects falling off the showroom wall. The shelf rests on adjacent brackets, one of which was not fully seated in its slot. The weight of the shelf caused the bracket to settle into place with a visible jerk. This movement sent some items tumbling off the shelf. Then the flying book. I use a simple trick to recreate the event at home. A hidden string taped inside a book's cover, wrapped around the kitchen island, and tugged by my right hand out of camera range. Now I can't prove there was not a ghost in the original video. The point is to provide a more plausible explanation that, quote, it must have been a ghost, end quote. One final consideration. Virtually all ghostly experiences involve impediments to making accurate perceptions and judgments. Bad lighting, emotional arousal, sleep phenomena, social influences, culture, a misunderstanding of how recorded devices work, and the prior beliefs and personality traits of those who claim to see ghosts. All of these hold the potential to induce unforgettable ghostly encounters, but all can be explained without ghosts being real. This is by Barry Markovsky, Designated Professor Emeritus of Sociology, University of South Carolina. It's republished from Conversations under Creative Commons, and it's on Science Alert. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.